We are now standing just days away from what could easily be described as one of the most important Apple events of the decade, and the tech world is buzzing louder than ever before. Every single September, Apple manages to dominate headlines, trending topics and YouTube recommendations across the globe, pulling not only tech enthusiasts but also casual fans into the hype cycle. But this year is very different. This year feels monumental. The iPhone 17 lineup is not just another iterative step forward with a slightly faster processor or a new camera trick. It is shaping up to be a generational leap, a reset button for Apple's smartphone philosophy, and a redefinition of what a modern smartphone is supposed to be in the second half of the 2020s. Apple is preparing to launch not 3, not even 4, but 5 distinct models, each catering to a different slice of the market. We have the standard iPhone 17, the larger iPhone 17 Plus, the professional-grade iPhone 17 Pro, the ultra-premium flagship iPhone 17 Pro Max, and for the very first time, a brand new edition that has already sent shockwaves through the rumor, the iPhone 17 Air. This is not just another name slapped onto a device for marketing purposes. The Air represents a fresh design philosophy, a brand new category of smartphone, and perhaps the clearest indication yet of Apple's long-term vision. If the leaks and reports are accurate, the iPhone 17 Air will be the thinnest, lightest iPhone ever created, designed to achieve a level of portability and elegance we haven't seen before in the smartphone world, while still keeping the high-end features and performance Apple is known for. Much like the MacBook Air forever changed what people expected from laptops, bringing power in an incredibly thin form factor, Apple is attempting to replicate that same revolution in the smartphone space. This isn't just another iPhone launch, it's the beginning of what could be an entirely new era for Apple. What makes this particular launch so exciting is that Apple is not simply focusing on superficial tweaks like new wallpapers or small camera upgrades. Instead, every sign, every leak, and every insider report points toward a dramatic overhaul across the board. From the materials used in construction to the engineering approaches taken under the hood, from display technology to thermal performance, from charging speeds to battery innovations, Apple is addressing things that even hardcore tech enthusiasts have been demanding for years. This feels reminiscent of when Apple unveiled the iPhone X, a device that redefined what an iPhone could look and feel like, introducing Face ID, the notch, and an edge-to-edge OLED screen. That moment felt like a turning point, and history might be about to repeat itself. With the iPhone 17 series, Apple seems determined to bring the same level of disruption, but this time across multiple areas at once, not just design. That is why many analysts are calling this the most ambitious iPhone launch in years. In this long, deep dive, we will carefully walk through everything we know. The sweeping design changes, the slimmer frames, the futuristic display upgrades, the powerhouse A19 chip built on cutting-edge fabrication, new camera systems that promise to rival professional gear, long-awaited reverse wireless charging, improved fast charging standards, bigger and more efficient batteries, improved thermal management, and of course the release date and pricing information that everyone is desperate to know. By the end of this breakdown, it will be clear why the iPhone 17 series is more than just another upgrade. It's a bold new chapter in Apple's smartphone story. Design has always been the soul of the iPhone, and with the iPhone 17 family, Apple appears to be making some of the boldest and most daring changes we've seen in over half a decade. Let's begin with materials. According to highly reliable supply chain leaks and analysts with strong track records, the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max will be crafted using Series 5 titanium. This isn't just the same titanium we saw in the iPhone 15 Pro, it's stronger, lighter, and more resistant to long-term wear and tear. Titanium has already proven itself as a transformative material. Those who used the iPhone 15 Pro noticed immediately how much lighter it felt compared to its stainless steel predecessors, and that was just the beginning. Series 5 titanium will refine that experience even further. This is not a cosmetic choice, it's about performance and durability. By switching to stronger, lighter materials, Apple is opening up the possibility for slimmer frames, more elegant designs, and potentially even thinner bezels without compromising the overall structural integrity. It also helps with portability, making the largest iPhones like the Pro Max much easier to handle for daily use. On the other hand, the standard iPhone 17, the iPhone 17 Plus, and the all-new Air are expected to stick with aerospace-grade aluminum. Aluminum has been Apple's go-to material for years, and for good reason. It's durable, affordable, lightweight, and allows Apple to keep the non-Pro models at a more accessible price point while still delivering that clean, premium aesthetic that iPhone owners expect. In short, Apple has clearly divided its material strategy: titanium for the Pros, aluminum for the standard, and Air models. Now, let's shift the spotlight to the undeniable star of the show, the iPhone 17 Air. This is Apple's boldest experiment. Since the original iPhone X, and if reports are accurate, it could very well be the thinnest iPhone Apple has ever built. We're hearing whispers that it might shave nearly a full millimeter off the thickness of even the slim iPhone 15 Pro. On paper, that might sound minor, but in reality, it transforms how the device feels in your hand and pocket. Apple has long been obsessed with making its devices thinner and lighter, sometimes to the frustration of users who felt battery life or durability were being compromised. But with the iPhone 17 Air, it seems Apple has found a way to achieve thinness without the usual trade-offs. Behind the scenes, Apple has reportedly poured millions into advancing stacked battery technology, a next-generation solution that allows more capacity in less physical space. Alongside that, new heat dissipation systems, possibly involving graphene, layers, or vapor chamber cooling, are being engineered to keep thermals under control in such a slim body. Even the camera system is said to use miniaturized components without sacrificing performance. This is the kind of engineering feat that only Apple, with its massive resources and design-first philosophy, could realistically pull off. The Air isn't just about being thin, it's about proving that thinness and performance don't have to be mutually exclusive. If Apple succeeds here, the Air could become the blueprint for the next decade of smartphone design. Color and finish options are also shaping up to be a major point of conversation. In recent years, Apple has used colors as a way to differentiate between its standard and Pro models, giving younger audiences and casual buyers bright, playful options while reserving more muted, luxurious tones for the premium lineup. For the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, leaks suggest some bold new shades. A deep crimson red is rumored to be exclusive to the Pro models, a color that would immediately stand out as a status symbol. Alongside it, a refreshed silver-white finish is expected, designed to catch and reflect light in dynamic ways. There's also talk of a new midnight titanium shade, darker and more sophisticated than the space black finishes of the past. These colors aren't just about aesthetics, they're about identity. Owning a Pro model isn't just about having the best specs, it's about owning a device that looks and feels unmistakably premium. Meanwhile, the standard iPhone 17 series is rumored to stick with brighter tones, continuing the strategy of appealing to younger audiences who see their iPhone as an expression of personality. The Air, being a new category, might introduce exclusive finishes altogether, possibly soft matte shades that emphasize minimalism and elegance. Think of colors that align with the Air's philosophy: light, clean, and understated. If true, this would help the Air immediately stand apart, not just in form factor, but in visual identity. And then we come to one of Apple's most recent and most controversial design features, the dynamic island. Introduced just a couple of years ago, the pill-shaped cutout quickly became one of the most talked-about changes in iPhone history. Initially met with skepticism, the dynamic island has since become a defining part of Apple's interface, blending hardware and software in a uniquely Apple way. But the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max are expected to shrink the dynamic island even further. Thanks to breakthroughs in miniaturizing Face ID components and front-facing camera sensors, Apple can now reduce the size of the cutout, giving users a noticeably larger area of uninterrupted display. While this won't yet achieve the dream of a completely all-screen iPhone with no interruptions whatsoever, it is a meaningful step forward. Every reduction in the cutout size makes the display feel more immersive, more futuristic, and more in line with Apple's relentless march toward a bezel-less, distraction-free device. This evolution is subtle, but it's the kind of refinement that Apple excels at. Changes that don't scream at you, but quietly make the experience better every time you use your phone.